journey. There was a time where I didn't have a few of the bare essentials, and being homeless was my moment of time for a season. But God was wanting to get my attention because I had my own business. As I'm talking, I'm gonna try a couple things here to make this sound a little different. Let's see here. On that side now, okay. So as I'm going to try that. Is this any better? No? Oh, a little bit better. I had my own business for a while, and as many of you know, when the market turned back in about 2005, between 2004 2006, somewhere in that time range, my business went belly up, and unfortunately I had one of those kind of businesses that was subject to not standing firm like the pharmaceutical companies. So I was floundering for a while, but and what I didn't realize was that in my downtime, I call it my downtime, I had a timeout for a period. But God was flashing these 8s in front of me all the time, and I couldn't figure out what that was. I lived in one town for about 8 years, and then it was time for me to move. So I moved from there. And of course, because I lost my job, I wasn't working, and I was scrambling to try to find work. And I had a friend that said, well, I have a sister she lives up in Sun City, and she's got her house on foreclosure, and they're going to do a short sale or whatever, and so it'd be 6 months before that thing sells. And so she said, well, you can stay there. I was like, okay, well, that's about an hour away, but okay. So I was just getting settled, and 8 days went by, and the house sold. So I said, okay. So everything that I moved in, I had to move out. And then I was on my way to this one job, and it was in Vista. And I got a call from a friend of mine. He said, hey, Danny, what are you doing? I said, well, it's funny you should ask. I said, I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to move to and live. And he said, well, I got a place here. And I said, really? Because he had some property and he had a trailer on it. And we negotiated a price, and I said, well, I could probably swing that. Now, mind you, at the time, I had 2 vehicles. And I had a van full of tools in one, and the other one was kind of my get-around car. But I was there at that place for 8 months. Again, there's that 8. And then my time was up over there, so I moved again. This time I moved back into Murrieta, and I just stayed with a friend for about 2.5, maybe 3 weeks. And then I got a call from a friend of mine that lived out in Corona. He says, well, I got a place here. You can stay with me. He said, I'm going to charge you rent. I'm like, okay, well, I can do that. I had no intention of moving that way, because all of the things that I had known was down here in San Diego County. But God wanted my attention. And again, I just did not know what that was. So after my 8 months in Corona, I moved over to Orange County, which was really not where I wanted to be. But because of the industry, I thought, well, I could probably find something out there. And I wound up finding a homeless shelter, but the provision there was that in order to get into the program, you have to find a job within 6 weeks. I was on week 5.5, and I was going, okay, any day now, God. But week 5.5, I got a call from somebody that I did not apply with, but they just said, my company's hiring, you need to get down here now. So all I had then at that time was a bicycle with no seat. Needless to say, I made it down to that office and filled out an application. I was hired the next day. But then for about almost the next 8 months, actually it was 8 months. 8 months I lived in Fullerton, and I worked in Irvine. So I jumped from my bicycle to the bus, and from the bus over to Irvine, and went to work. And I was assisting disabled adults in a kitchen environment. But God was rearranging my thinking. And when God does something like that, you never expect what He has in store. But there were some little things that were starting to happen. Like I hadn't heard from my daughter. My daughter has Down syndrome. And I hadn't heard from her in like 5 years. And I was missing her. One of the gals that I was working with had Downs, and she was older. But I was on the other side of the dish room, and I heard, I like you, Danny. And I looked, and it sounded so much like my little girl. And I just started weeping. But God is so good, because He knew my heart. He knew that I wanted to hear my baby. And I looked at Renee, and I said, well, I like you too, Renee. And thank you for saying that. But God was in the process of reestablishing me in a different way. So while I was there working with the disabled adults, one of the clients that I had was an autistic male. He was like 34 or 36 years old. And his mom said, I want to have lunch with you. I said, sure, come on down. So we met for lunch, and she said, well, my son's going to be needing a new roommate. And, he lives right in Irvine, so he's like 15 minutes from work. Does that interest you? And I said, well, it interests me. I said, but Irvine, and with what I make, I said, I don't think I can afford to do that. And she says, well, would free work? And I said, I can do free. And so for 8 months, there's that 8 again, 8 months, I lived in Irvine, one of the most expensive places in Orange County, for free. Wow. And I had a 15-minute bicycle ride to work, and rode my bicycle every day to work. And while I was there, of course, I started working after 3 years, and I hadn't been able to pay Uncle Sam, but Uncle Sam said, you're working now, so I'll just take this little bit of money every month, and we'll get you all caught up. And so it was time to pay the piper, and I didn't like what I was hearing. The song just wasn't in my key. And so I talked with somebody at the office there, and I said, well, who can I talk to lower this amount that they're taking out every month? I said, because I don't really make a whole lot of anything here. She said, well, I'll leave you a number. And so she left me the number, and I called the next day. And the gal asked me, she says, well, where have you been for the past 3 years? And I said, well, I lost my business, wound up being homeless. Well, where'd you stay? Anywhere I could, in my car, on the bench, on the curb, wherever I could. And she goes, okay. Now, mind you, they've been taking, they garnished my wages. So for a year, they were taking money out. And anyway, long story short, she comes back and says, well, looks like you're getting a refund. And everything that they took out, they gave back to me. So God was in the process of doing the restoration thing. And it blew me away, because I was not expecting that at all. But what I did hear God start to tell me was that, you thought that you had a plan for your life. And He said, but I control your steps. And you just watch what I can do. Watch doors I can open for you, ones that man will never be able to shut. And so, as I still stayed in my bicycle thing, I got a call from someone else that said, hey, we want to gift you with this vehicle. I said, okay. She said, it's a 2000 Toyota 4Runner, and all you have to do is pay a $15 title transfer fee. And I said, I can do $15. So I got a 2000 Toyota 4Runner for $15. And I drove that for about a year and a half, and then it was funny because when God wants to move you into a new season, He's going to make you feel uncomfortable. There's nothing that you can do that will make you feel like, where's my iced tea? That just didn't happen. I was starting to get fidgety, and I said, I got this hunch that I'm going to be moving pretty soon. And I was getting rather fatigued of moving, but anyway, being in Orange County, my family was down here in the San Diego area, and I said, well, let me just check and see what's down here in San Diego. There was one company that I found that was actually doing the thing that I left my own business for, and the job was empty for 3 months. I couldn't find anybody. And when I told him my credentials, he says, I think you need to come work with me a day. I said, sure. So we struck a deal, and I told my boss in Orange County, I said, well, I'm going to be leaving. And he says, what, in about a couple of weeks? No, in about 2 days. 2 days? And so she looks at her manager and says, did Danny know that we were doing away with his position? No.
Wow.
But God was preparing me. And He was telling me, don't get too comfortable where you are, because you're getting ready to move. And so I wound up back down here in the San Diego area. And then about 3 years ago, I had a lot of communication with Facebook people, and that's where Deb and I met, because I thought she was one of the gals that I had met probably 10 or 15 years ago at a church I went to. And I said, well, how's your son Daniel? Because she had a son named Daniel. She goes, oh, he's good. Do I know you? Like, well, didn't you go to the church at New Song? No. Okay. But anyway, we met about a week later, and we started seeing one another, and we dated for about a year, and said, you know what, I think it's time that we tie the knot. And even before we tied the knot, we were just going to these prayer meetings, different functions and stuff, and people would always tell us, oh, your wife is looking for you. Like, we're not married. But we wound up getting married a year later anyway, and so we've been married a little over 2 years now.
Wow.
But in the process, again, of the 8, and we're going to do something at the very end, but before I go into that, I think I'll leave it with you. And you said you wanted to do something about halfway through or something?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, do the offering. Angela. Do you want her to go ahead now?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Angela.
Praise the Lord. I love miracles. The Lord is so good. He just blesses us, doesn't He? He just blesses us with blessings that we can't even count. It almost reminds me of the story about Abraham, how he didn't have any children, and the Lord said, look into the stars, and that's how many children you're going to have someday. And it's such a miracle because he did have children, lots and lots of children. We can't count them. We can't count our blessings. I'm going to come over here and the offering around. Pray over it first, of course. Lord, I just thank you for this evening, Lord, of miracles. And I thank you, Lord, that you give us so much. I pray a blessing upon this evening, the rest of it. And I pray that you will continue to bless our offering, Lord, that as you blessed us, that we can bless you. Lord, thank you for all your goodness that you have given us, Lord. Be with us the rest of the evening. Thank you, Lord. Amen. Okay. You know, I'm gonna set
Just
it.
set it in the back.
I'm gonna set it in the back so if you have anything, just put it on.
So anyway, as more and more of these things, and it's almost like visions of the number 8. And what the 8 was representing to me at the time was still strange. I didn't understand it. But as you have all seen my wife do her flags,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
do you realize
it's an 8.
it's an 8? And I was looking at it because the way that she moves that flag, and I was looking at it and I said, as I was standing in the shower, I'm going, God, what is that signifying? What does that mean? And he says, don't you understand? No, I really don't. I was trying to tell you all these years that there's new beginnings coming your way. There are new beginnings coming your way. There's new beginnings coming your way. And when you lay that 8 down and put it sideways, it's infinity. So there's new beginnings for infinity. And so as Deb is doing these flags, and you notice that, you know, not only is she worshiping like this,
Yes.
but sometimes she'll be looking at you, looking at your spirit, man, and what she's doing is she's prophetically proclaiming new beginnings over you. New beginnings and for infinity. So new beginnings for infinity. And we're going to have an opportunity to receive some of that a little bit later on. But when I came from being homeless and not having a bicycle with a seat, God has just put us in a different position where I was able to get a seat.
Amen.
And fix the wobble front tire in the front, and replace the handlebars. But he's just blessed us with 4 vehicles. And where I used to sleep on a stoop, we now are renting a place where we see the ocean from our back bedroom, and it's just
That's the Lord.
it's just crazy.
And we're getting ready to move again.
And we're getting ready to move again. Even though we've enjoyed that time there, but what's neat is, long story short, Deb's daughters have they lost their biological father at a very young age, and so they didn't have a man figure in their life growing up, and now they're young adult children. But it's such a blessing. I mean, like they're over all the time. But it's just
Mending period.
it's a mending period, but it's just, oh my gosh, it's just wonderful. It just because they're so eager to just have that encouragement of like, well, you don't have to do that, you know. like, just look at it this way, or do this or that, and it's like, really? Yeah, why not? And all they need is just that little nudge, and there's nothing greater than to see your kids succeed and just, go on and have their own life at some point. But now's the time where Deb and I get to mentor them and just give them Jesus. And it's, like I said, it's just wonderful. Take this offering that I bring, humbly I fall on my knees to proclaim your everything. My life's nothing without you. Take my hand and lead me through. You are my sustaining love. Worshiping take this offering that I bring, humbly I fall on my knees to proclaim your everything. My life's nothing without you. Take my hand and lead me through. You are my sustaining love. Live to worship you. I live to worship you. With all I am, I worship you. Here I am, worshiping you. With all I am, worshiping you. I'm bowing down in spirit and truth. With lifted hands, worshiping you. I'm not ashamed of you. I'm not ashamed of you. I'm not ashamed of you. Oh,
ashamed of you. I'm not ashamed of you. I'm not ashamed of you. Oh, I'm gonna worship you forever. I'm gonna worship you. I'm gonna worship you forever. I'm gonna worship you forever. I'm gonna worship you. I'm gonna worship you forever. I'm gonna worship you. I'm gonna worship you forever. I'm gonna worship you. I'm gonna worship you forever. I'm gonna worship you. I'm gonna worship you forever. I'm gonna worship you. I'm gonna worship you forever. I'm gonna worship you. I'm gonna worship you forever. I'm gonna worship you. And the more I seek you,
Yeah.
the more I find you.
Yes, Lord.
The more I find you, the more I love you. I wanna sit at your feet, drink from the cup of your hand, lay back against you and breathe, feel your heartbeat. This love is so deep, it's more than I can stand. I melt in your peace, it's overwhelming. Oh, it's overwhelming to me. I seek you, the more I find you, the more I find you, the more I love you. I wanna sit at your feet, drink from the cup in your hand, lay back against you and breathe, and feel your heartbeat. This love is so deep, it's more than I can stand. I melt in your peace, it's overwhelming.
Praise you, Lord. Yes, Lord. Praise you, Lord.
So overwhelming.
do something a little different now. What was your name again?
Michelle.
Michelle. I'm gonna set something up here